Every day, the resort and spa falls into sync, coming together around the serving of an ancient refreshment. For 30 years, a local elixir called Jamu has offered guests a taste of her primordial tempo. Surrounded by sacred bonsai trees and fresh lagoon pools and pristine beaches, it's a resort that is built around a natural, ancestral rhythm. At the resort and spa, time is guided by nature and refreshment. Concocted and carefully curated by Lilac, a third-generation practitioner, a drink is served, a drink that is simultaneously an elixir, an heirloom, and an instrument. Drawing from the natural environment that cascades through Bali, this drink's ingredients reflect a vast biodiversity across jungle and beach. Now, Lily combines warming cloves and mint along with lime and star anise. Each ingredient is patiently ground with mortar and pestle into a paste, mixed into orange juice and local honey, strained and served as a fragrant brew called Jamu. Her designs influence every drink prepared at the resort. For the last 30 years, at dusk and at dawn, Jamu has been served at the resort and spa, each serving allowing Indonesian family wellness traditions to be shared and preserved, providing an occasion to restore and reset. When this drink is sipped, it offers guests a beat that aligns with Bali's natural rhythm and ancestral history, welcoming them to step into the island's routine and rhythm, a beat that just may bring a new kind of harmony to their lives. This is Teachable Moments with April podcast, and you guessed it, I'm your host, April. If you're a returning listener and a part of the Teachable Moments with April podcast family, welcome back. For those who are checking me out for the first time, well, hello and welcome. To everyone listening, be encouraged and look for the teachable moments that are all around us. Enjoy. Alright guys, I'm coming to talk about, I haven't did something like this in a while, but I came across something on the local news and they were talking about something, actually it was maybe a month ago, maybe a little bit more, and it was a word that I had never, phrase or word I'd never heard before, and I would like to share some of the information that I am going to find on it. And it was something called water intoxication. So of course I Googled it, and it says here, just very briefly, excessive intake of water. Water intoxication, also known as water poisoning, hyperhydration, overhydration, or water toxemia, or toxema is more like it. I butchered that, didn't I? Toxema is a potentially fatal disturbance in brain functions that results when the normal balance of electrolytes in the body is pushed outside safe limits by excessive water intake. Under normal circumstances, accidentally consuming too much water is exceptionally rare. But there have been some cases more recently, like I said, within the past month or so. I have been hearing about people, especially when in various areas. Each area, I think, it either experiences extreme heat, or whether it be just like, the temperatures, wildfires or whatever. And then it like alternates between that and the flash flooding and stuff like that. But the extreme heat is definitely something that we all have been experiencing. So what I'm going to do is, that was very briefly from Wikipedia. So I'm going to click on medical news today. And it says, what happens if you drink too much water? Okay. I have never heard of this. Of course, in all things, just like in the Bible, it says to do everything in moderation. So, of course, in a way, if you eat all carrots or you do something excessively, not in moderation, there are some potentials there, of course. But this is very interesting to me because I've never ever heard of this. Okay, so in medicalnewstoday.com it says the body needs water to function correctly, but drinking too much too fast can have serious health consequences. The kidneys can only remove 0.8 to 1 liter of water per hour, and a very high water intake can upset the body's electrolyte balance. Then it goes on to say it is difficult to drink too much water by accident, but it can happen. Now, I don't remember specifically, but it was one particular case of a mother, and I don't know if they were at the beach or they were outdoors, and it was extreme heat. A lot of people go to pools and they go to the beach to cool off, especially when they have their children and for themselves. And this woman, she drank, I guess, too much water, and it had a very unfortunate ending. So it says, but it can happen usually as a result of overhydrating during sporting events or intense training. Okay. The symptoms of water intoxication are general, and they can include confusion, disorientation, nausea, and vomiting. In rare cases, water intoxication can cause swelling in the brain and become fatal. I did not know that. Okay. So it says that this article, because I'm reading this article, describes the symptoms, the causes, the effects of water intoxication. It also looks into how much water a person should drink each day. Okay. And then, of course, they show pictures of a man with his, you have your little water bottles or whatever, pretty fancy. It looks like his has a filter in it. Okay, so this is also known as water poisoning. Water intoxication is a disruption of brain function caused by drinking too much water. Doing so increases the amount of water in the blood, and this can dilute the electrolytes. Okay, so they keep mentioning electrolytes, especially sodium in the blood. Okay, so it says if the sodium levels fall below 135 millimoles per liter, doctors refer to the tissue as hyponatremia. Hyponatremia. I know I'm butchering this, and I apologize. Sodium helps maintain the balance of fluids inside and outside of your cells. When sodium levels drop due to excessive water consumption, fluids travel from outside to the inside of the cells, causing them to swell. When this happens to brain cells, it can be dangerous and even life-threatening. Now, I'm not trying to contradict what was on the news, but they showed, I remember, how many bottles of water, that the mother and wife of this particular family drank. And to me, I I didn't think it was excessive, but maybe she drank them back to back. I'm trying to picture in my mind, was it 6 bottles? Don't quote me. I think it was 6. It might have been a little bit more, maybe 7. I don't know. But yeah, I just know my own water consumption on certain days when it's really, really hot. I do take breaks in between, but there have been times when I've had to do something and then I'm just like, oh my God, I am so thirsty. And if it's really, really hot, it seems like it just evaporates. I may sweat and it just evaporates through my skin. So I don't know, everybody's different. And I guess it's something to just be conscious of. So it says the bottom line is water intoxication results from drinking too much water. The excess water dilutes sodium in the blood and causes fluids to move inside cells, causing them to swell. So they're reiterating that.